What's up, this is EasyOSX, and today I'm showing you how to enable alternate language keyboards in iOS. These are language keyboards built into iOS, not ones that come from other apps. I can show you those in another video later, but for now, this is for people who are multilingual or trying to be multilingual. To get started, go to the Settings app on your iOS device. Scroll down and hit General, and then scroll down again and hit Keyboard. At the top, you'll see a section called Keyboards and a number next to it. Typically this number will be 2, but will change based off the number of keyboards first or third party that you have enabled and installed. Click on this and you'll see the list of keyboards currently enabled. At the top is your current default language followed by the emoji keyboard. Below that will be a list of other keyboards you've enabled if you have any. As you can see, there are several here, mainly because I like languages, but also to demonstrate some stuff about them later. To add a new language, hit the Add New Keyboard button at the bottom, and you'll be taken to a list of all the keyboards that you can enable. At the top will be recommended ones, followed by a section for third-party keyboards you can enable, then other languages, dialects, and regional keyboards listed in alphabetical order for your language. Scroll down the list until you see the language, regional form, or dialect you want to use and tap to add it. I'll add the Arabic keyboard in this example. Now you can only add one keyboard at a time, so if you're adding multiple forms or languages, you'll have to go back and add them this way, one by one. You'll be taken back to the previous screen with a list of languages and keyboards you have enabled. You can edit the order of the languages as you want them to appear in the selector, which I'll show you in a minute. To do this, hit the Edit button in the top right corner of the screen. You can also use this to disable languages. Now let's jump over to the Notes app and see how to use this. Once your keyboard is pulled up, you'll see the globe icon in the bottom left corner. If you're on an iPhone with a physical home button, like the iPhone SE or older, you'll hit the same button as you do to get to the emoji keyboard. Tapping the globe icon will cycle through all the languages you have enabled, though if you leave it sitting there for a few seconds and tap again, it'll automatically go back to your default keyboard. Pressing and holding the globe icon will let you see a list of all the keyboards you have enabled. Then you can tap the language you want, or go to the keyboard settings from here. You'll also notice, like I mentioned before, that these keyboards are in the same order I had them arranged in the keyboard settings. Let me just show you a few things with the keyboards. First, with languages like Hebrew and Arabic that read right to left, you'll notice the typing direction changes to match those languages. However, typically for keyboards that don't use the Latin alphabet, you won't be able to use the swipe to text feature of iOS 14. Next, let's jump into the Japanese keyboard here. I can type with the Romaji keyboard, i.e. the Latin alphabet, and it'll start typing into hiragana, katakana, or kanji depending on the words it thinks I'm typing, and can even adjust on the fly. You'll also have the bar up top to help you autocomplete words or complex characters. But you may have noticed earlier I had an alternate Japanese keyboard enabled, which some languages actually have multiple forms of their keyboard. In this case, this is a keypad design, which is a non-native Japanese typer, doesn't work so well for me, but you have multiple options depending on your language and usability. That's also the case with a language like Mandarin Chinese, where I have again the Latin alphabet or pinyin keyboard to type with, but I also have a drawing keyboard where I can draw the characters instead. And Mandarin speakers out there, forgive my poor finger writing. And in all these cases, you can also use speech to text for the language that you have currently selected. Weijian. Also, again, Mandarin speakers, please forgive my atrocious pronunciation. But that's all there is to enabling and using multiple language keyboards built into iOS. Thank you all so much for watching. If this video helps you out, please give it a like, it really helps the channel out. Likewise, if you want more Mac, iOS, and other Apple tips, tricks, and advice, you can subscribe to the channel. You can also check us out on the website easyosx.net, as well as on our social media pages. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll catch you next time.